So WWE SmackDown GM Nick Aldis was on Nick Violet's channel. I hope he's saying his name right. Nick was on. Nick was used to be in Cleveland. He covered entertainment on Channel 19 in Cleveland, and he went to LA and he fell into the whole niche of interviewing wrestlers, and he's created a great empire on YouTube interviewing wrestlers. So shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. But yeah, he was interviewing him, and Nick Aldis said that Liv Morgan was the MVP of WWE this year. And I asked my brother this question because we both watch a lot of wrestling, and he said he thought it would be Gunther because he said Gunther won the championship and he won the King of the Ring. He's done all this stuff, and really Gunther never had bad matches. Gunther to me is one of probably their most underrated wrestler. And it's going to be fascinating when he becomes the heavyweight champ, because eventually the whole bloodline thing will kind of subside a bit, and the heavyweight champ probably will be Gunther. And what type of battles Gunther is going to have long term. So that might be in 2025, maybe 2026. I don't know. But my brother might be right about that. However, Nick wasn't wrong. Listen, I always loved Liv Morgan. And he's right. Like, Liv Morgan is a beautiful woman, but that's been a blessing and a curse for her. Because I think she, at times, she didn't lean into, she knows she's hot, but I think she didn't lean into it. I think she did everything she could to show, like, no, I can really wrestle. But she can. She's a good wrestler. She's a good performer. But I think she kind of ran away from it a little bit. But I think this year she just said it, I think Nick said he gave her some advice, and he mentioned Shawn Michaels. Now, if you look at Shawn Michaels today, Shawn Michaels runs NXT. Shawn Michaels looks like a character actor. He's like a grizzled character actor. But if we go back in the day, Shawn Michaels was a good looking dude, and Shawn Michaels was a great performer, but he also had the attitude of, I can take your woman anytime I want, and there's nothing you can do about it. And that was Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels was that great a performer, and he was that dude at one point, and women did love Shawn Michaels. And Liv Morgan kind of leaned into it. It's like, okay, I am a good looking chick, but at the same time, maybe I should lean into the fact that I can take your man, which happened with the whole Rhea, Ripley, Dom, Mysterio storyline, right? So it's kind of like she leans into that. As the years went along, she's become a pretty good wrestler. And I think a few years ago, I think she was trying to find a character that worked for her, right? Because they had her being Crazy Liv for a while. And Crazy Liv was fine, but I just didn't think it was sustainable. And she fell into this whole thing with Dom. And this Dom thing clicked, and she's wearing the jeans shorts, and she's playing up her body. Like, she's just like, you know what? I'm not gonna run away from this. Dude thinks I'm sexy. I know I'm sexy. And I'm just gonna play into this thing, and this is gonna be my character. And I think moving on, I think if she keeps this same villainy of character, I think she'll be fine. Because she's not villain. Liv isn't really an evil character. She could be annoying in a fun way. She can do dirty stuff, but she's not a totally bad person. Even the stuff with the Judgment Day now, she's not a total villainess. When they first introduced her into the Judgment Day, it's almost like, oh, she's going to totally tear them apart. It is not, at this point, it's not really her. They're blowing themselves up. It's just by whoever's part of that crew at this time. So shout out to Liv Morgan, man. So, and shout out to The Rock. The Rock hasn't been on in a while. And when he came back initially, the goal was The Rock, if you don't know what's going on, WrestleMania in 2024 was supposed to have been Roman Reigns and The Rock. And if this was 4 years ago, 3 years ago, I think the fans actually wanted The Rock to wrestle Roman Reigns. But then as the years went along, then Cody Rhodes popped up, and then the fans wanted Cody. So when we get to that point where they say it was going to be The Rock versus Roman, the fans like, no, we want Cody wrestling Roman. Now, if Vince McMahon was still in charge, Vince would have said, we're sticking with Roman and The Rock. That's it. That's it. We screw Cody. He would have stuck with that. But Triple H, he saw the pulse of the fans, man, and the pulse was like, we don't want to see Rock and Roman. We want to see Rock and Cody. And they pivoted, and they went to Dwayne Johnson, and Dwayne said, "That's fine." I think if it's the younger Rock, I don't think if the younger Rock, pre-movie star Rock, I don't know if he would have pivoted that way. I think no, it's going to be me and Roman. But the fact he says, "Listen, man, I understand this business. I know how it works. We'll do this." And by doing so, Rock became the final boss. And this final boss character was so evil. Like, if you're a Rock fan, you watch a lot of different variations of his character. And he's played dark before, but this is the darkest I've ever seen Dwayne Johnson play the Rock. That scene in the ring with Cody Rhodes when he was whipping him with the championship belt, when he kept on saying, Mama Rhodes, the blood of your son is going to be on this belt. Mama Rhodes, just taunting Cody Rhodes' mom and just beating Cody in the ring. Where there was a point where you felt like The Rock was going to toss Cody Rhodes over the banister. It was that sadistic. And they cut it off because the show ended and he was still destroying this dude in the ring. Oh my God. And then in the ring, man, I would love, if someone has an interview about how Cody Rhodes felt about that whole storyline and did Rock really, I mean, because you could tell those welts on his back, like how bad was that when The Rock was just hitting him with those belts? I never seen The Rock be that sadistic. If you're talking about who was the villain of the year, it might be The Rock. And it's overall in wrestling. Like, it'd be interesting to see who overall it was the top wrestler of the year. Because I think it might be Swerve Strickland. I love Swerve. I love the theme song. Him and Nana, they were a great combination. Just his matches were great. Like, Swerve would have never gotten that opportunity with WWE. Man, I wish he did. But, he would never would have gotten that opportunity. Shout out. Tony Khan at times at the AEW gets stuff wrong, but he got it right with Swerve. So my wrestler of the year overall, I think, is Swerve Strickland. But when it comes to Nick Aldis saying that it's Liv Morgan, I can't disagree with that. And plus, the women's division overall is just great. The WWE's women's division overall in SmackDown and Raw is great. On NXT it's really solid. They got a lot of international flavor coming in now on NXT with Stephanie Vacour and Julia. Oh yeah. Shawn Michaels. If you would have told me 20 years ago that Triple H and Shawn Michaels will be spearheading the WWE into greatness, I'd say you're out of your mind. You're out of D Generation X is going to take this thing from Vince and steer it better than Vince. I was like, you're out of your mind. It's going to be nothing but debauchery. But no, Hunter has been really good with storylines, and the thing with The Rock, he's really good at pivoting. And I forgot his name just now. The dude down at NXT, Shawn Michaels. Yeah, Shawn Michaels has done an excellent job down in NXT. Those two together, the WWE are in good hands with both of those guys. So what do you think about Nick Aldis saying that Liv Morgan is the MVP of WWE of WWE in 2024? Do you think he's right? Do you think there's another wrestler in 2024 who had a better year? What do you think of my take on The Rock being the final boss and this whole thing with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns and the OG bloodline? What do you think about that whole storyline? And what are your thoughts about Swerve Strickland? If you were a watcher of AEW, do you think Swerve was the top performer that year over there? And who do you think was the top wrestler overall in wrestling in 2024?